Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Claim What's Yours. I'm your host Vaughan Reinecker, and today I'd like to talk to you about capacity in the insurance markets, short-term insurance markets. So we often get asked, does supply and demand affect the provision of short-term insurance? And absolutely yes, it does. So a lot of insurers, most insurers, in fact all insurers that we know, they purchase reinsurance cover either in the US market or the European market, all through Lloyd's of London. And the amount of capacity that an insurance company has to write a risk in South Africa in particular affects all of them. So not all insurers have the same capacity because not all of them have suffered the same sorts of losses or have the same appetite for losses. So you may find a corporate insurer in South Africa, a leading corporate insurer, they need to have large capacity because they're writing large risks with high sums insured. Whereas you may find a smaller commercial insurance broker in South Africa may say, listen, I don't need to have 750 million rands worth of capacity. I'm not taking risks that are over 100 million rand. And that affects each insurer's bottom line directly because it's the amount of money that they have to buy reinsurance cover for. So to get back to the note about capacity, and sometimes it's referred to a hard market or a soft market. The reason I'm raising this with you is two instances happened in the South African market that we certainly know of from an experience point of view, and the one relates to the provision of thatch risks. So at the moment, thatch in South Africa is a no-no. The capacity has been taken away, and this was as a result of claims. So there were quite a few claims that had happened some years ago and big numbers. So all of the capacity that the local specialist thatch risk insurers had in South Africa was taken away because it was unprofitable. So at the moment, if you've got a thatch risk, there are not a lot of insurers who are keen to take your risk on or even look at it. And because of that, the thatch rates have gone up between 3 and 4 times what the insurers were charging when there was capacity. So there comes our supply and demand. Because there's no supply, the costs have gone up. So limits have come down. So the insurance company are not prepared to write like the Nelspruit Airport, which is completely made out of thatch, or it's got a thatch roof rather. They say, that becomes a special consideration. We don't have the capacity for that, so we'll write a house 7, 8, 9, 10 million rand, but this is the rate you're going to pay. You're going to pay 3 or 4 times more than you were paying. That's a direct effect of supply and demand, hard and soft markets on the thatch industry. Another industry that we've noted, we believe there is an oversupply of capacity at the moment relates to legal liability insurance. And we're talking about general liability insurance, broad form liability insurance as we've got it here. So broad form means it covers just about everything. The cover is much, much wider than a public liability policy issued by a commercial insurer. So broad form, that's the word broad form, which is commonly used in South Africa. So here we are seeing that based on our experience, in our limited experience, in our exposure in the market, we are seeing that the costs of broad form liability has come down dramatically. And that may be due to a softer market because everybody wants business because it's profitable. They haven't had a lot of claims, as opposed to a hard market where the insurance company says, those are my rates. If you don't like it, take it, hit the road. So hard and soft, once again, at the moment, we are seeing that the legal liability insurances in South Africa, particularly the specialist liability, appear to be soft. And that may be due to there being an overcapacity in the market. So too much capacity in the market driving the prices down. Same thing happens when you have fuel or beef. If there's no beef, the price of beef goes up. If there's no fuel or there's limited supply, the price of fuel goes up as opposed to going down. So that's just what we look at from our point of view. We're doing an exercise for our clients to make sure that they're getting the best cover at the best possible premiums with the best possible insurer. That's our function as an FSP, and that's what we've done for our client. So pleased to say that we've managed to negotiate very favorable renewal terms for both of our clients that we just had a chat about this morning, a little bit earlier today. And if you'd like to know more about legal liability insurance and specialist liability insurance, which covers all sorts of areas, Like, subscribe, and send us an email. Thanks.